And now we need to locate the center of the crest in relationship to the chair, because the center of our crest may not be the center of the chair.
Right. Okay.
And so the way I do that is, and you may have another way of doing this, Alia, but there's a lot of ways you can do it. I'll take a straight edge and put a perpendicular mark on the spindle deck. Perpendicular mark to the center.
For once, I think I do it exactly the way you do.
And I use the spindle layout holes.
Yeah, so I got a hole there, a hole there, a hole there, a hole there, and a hole there.
Right.
So I'm lining the square up with this hole and that hole, and then striking a line.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt you, Curtis.
No, that's good. Now turn the now square up from that line up to your crest rail.
Okay, so I'm parallel with that line, because you can, if you watch up here, you can see that as I change this angle down at the bottom, I'm changing where my measurement is up at the top. So you really need this framing square parallel with that line.
Yeah, it's got to be right on it. Now put a little tick mark up on your crest rail, and you can see it's about a 1/4 inch off or so. Now flip it around to counter any cupping in the seat or any discrepancy anywhere. And then it'll be in between those two marks.
Okay, so the two marks are 1/8 of an inch away from each other. Let me flip the chair around and I'll be able to see it. The two marks are 1/8 of an inch away from each other, and a 1/4, and so my halfway between those two marks is about 1/8 of an inch over from the crest center.
Okay, so that's your new center right there.
So this is my new center.
Yeah.
And my old one was there.
Right. So
okay.
Now you can look at the layout that I have on the elevation page, I think.
Okay. So you're looking at this, I assume.
Yeah, 2 1/4 and 3 inches.
Okay.
Now another way of doing this, and just as good, is to bore your holes in the spindle deck and put your spindles in, and then kind of spring clamp them up at the top and just see what looks good. But then it's like, where do you, what angle do you bore those holes at? So that's a little issue. So what Ailey is, with that. So what Ailey is going to do now is lay out those spindle mortises in the crest rail. Now, what I would do is probably, let's see, you were what, 3/16 off the center now?
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah. So you might add a 1/16 to the side that's long and subtract. No, wouldn't do a 1/16. I'd do about a little bit less than a 1/16.
Yeah. So you're trying to divide this distance into thirds and this distance into thirds, but this distance is smaller than that one.
Right. And yeah. So you're going to cheat a little bit on those measurements.
Yeah. So I forgot them. 2 3/4. Is that right?
No, 2 1/4, I believe it was.
Better look.
Good to look at it, isn't it?
Nope. I'm right, Curtis. It's 2 3/4.
Oh, 2 3/4. Okay. Good, Ailey. Good.
Not to rub it in or anything. Okay, 2 3/4.
So you're on the short side. You might.
Thank you.
You might cut that back just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
About 30 seconds. So. And then same thing here. Instead of 3, put it just a little bit under 3.
Great. Okay.
And then just do the opposite on the other side, just a little bit heavy. trying to make up for that little bit of difference.
And one thing to be aware of is I now have two lines here. My old line that I used to board the crest on and my corrected line over here. So you need to always make sure probably good to erase this one. So you're always measuring.
Yeah. I was going to tell you that. A good way to do that is to erase it.
Yeah, I tried to, but my eraser's gone on this pencil. So
you have that sitting on 3? Alien?
Oh, good grief. Thank you. All right, now I am going to go get a eraser. Hang on. Okay, so 2 3/4 plus a 32nd.
Right.
And then 3 plus a 32nd.
Right.
Okay,
and of
great.
course, you know, what the thing is it doesn't make that much difference, but it's easy to do that. It's easy to add a little bit on one side and subtract a little bit on the other side. I certainly wouldn't get hung up with it, but it's easy to do.
Yeah.